Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. And oh boy, Jeff Defo the Forest.
Oh my God, are you
Are
out
we
of your mind already?
in for a treat today? I've got my mallet. I've got my little instruments. I'm going to be picking crap. It is favorite time of the month.
You can't
Favorite
hand
time
this
of the
guy
year.
toys, people. You can't hand them toys.
It is stone crab time. It started last weekend, actually on Sunday, but we are here at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market.
Stone crab capital of the world right
The
here.
emphasis being on seafood market today because this is your one-stop shop for everything seafood.
Uh-oh.
And look
here
what's
he comes.
coming in now, Gene. And I'm trying to get loaded up on the Facebook group. Did you send the
no,
link,
I haven't.
sir?
My
Let us
Stone
get
crab
the
chowder.
link.
Problem with me doing
Stone
this.
crabs chowder. We
Wow.
got to get this loaded up. We got to get this on the
I
group.
don't. My phone's
Your phone.
not
Okay,
getting
we've got
good
some
internet, so.
glitches. Hold
We're
on,
there.
folks.
Don't
But
let it distract
well, I'm not letting
Just
it
keep
distract
going.
me, but we gotta get the good stuff up for the entire
The,
crew
awesome.
here. Well, meanwhile, we're
Oh.
here at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Gene is bringing out all kinds of goodies. I see we got cream spinach or spinach dip.
I didn't know there was a stone crab bisque. Or
Stone crab chowder. They call it.
Okay.
Stone crab
They
chowder.
do many
never seen it.
wondrous things here at Delaware Seafood and Chicken, and among those wondrous things, the display cases are filled with all kinds of great things, products, fish, seafood, poultry, turkey, sausage, pork, beef. How do you like the way I'm stretching today there,
You're
Defo?
not stretching. Just do the show and you'll get the
No,
link.
no,
when you
you're
get the
always
link.
stretching.
Well,
You spend the whole show
You
stretching.
get the link when you get
Yeah.
the link.
Well, okay.
You haven't
I
brought
wasn't
up
getting
anything
good
yet.
signal.
Really?
Look at the way he's talking to me.
Well, because
Because
you
you're
haven't
like
introduced
yammering.
Lubie, nothing. You're just
do the
yammering
show.
away,
It is
and
what
then
it is.
you ask
There
the
it
guy a
is.
question, and you just keep
There
talking.
it
I mean,
is.
well, what is that?
We love our. Yep. All right, we're
Yeah,
gonna
ready to
get
go.
you
Ready to jump
on
on?
in a minute. Are you ready to join us? Well, yeah. Okay, yeah. Take your time.
Why don't you get the show on the air, and then,
Well,
and then you can
well, the
invite
show
guests
is on
yeah.
the air.
All
It's what we want to do is get us streaming on the Let's Eat group. But what I was gonna say, Defo, and where are we, by the way?
It doesn't even matter anymore. Your intros have gotten to the point of being bizarre. I mean,
Well, the whole this place has been here since 1962. Owner
Yes.
Doug Carter and his crew.
Yes, it
have
has.
did
it
tremendous work.
really is wonderful. I mean, you're thinking, okay, you're talking about a seafood and a meat market, a poultry market, but I mean, when you walk in here, it feels good. It really does. I mean, and everything in the display case looks absolutely magnificent. You can see why they're packed all the time.
It's
fantastic.
clean.
Yeah.
It's bright. They have ample parking now. They kind of reconfigured the store a year ago. There used to be a adjoining produce market that has now moved across the street. So it's still very convenient because you can come in here and get all the meats, the fish, the seafood, and then if you need some herbs and things to kind of finish out whatever your dinner table is going to be, go right across the street there. The Brothers Produce is across the street. I love this place because not only do you have the classic Seminole Casino across the street, you have the Guitar Hotel up the street, but you also have this cut-through cross street that I always take when I come over here. It's called Oak Street and is the most bizarre street maybe in South Florida because you have on one side of the street, Defo, is this mansion that is gated property. They have a tennis court. They have this 14,000 square foot house. It's like valued at $7 million on the property appraiser site, which means it really goes for like, 12 or $13 million. I don't know who owns it, but across the street from this huge mansion are these, like, one house looks like a log cabin that Lincoln was born in. Another one looks like a dilapidated shed. One looks like the Amityville horror house. So it's like the yin and the yang of South Florida all on one block. It's what I love about the whole area because, you have this gorgeous property and then all these other little things. And then when you get down to the end of the block, it's kind of the cut through to avoid some of the traffic. And then you end up end up at this wonderland, and I'll shut up now because we are loaded and ready for bear.
Oh, very
Jeff
good.
Defo Forest. Do you have any spiels to?
No, you just go. I mean, that's the way it works now. We just
No,
sit
there's
here
nothing
and
the way it works. It's
hopefully
just-
the food comes out early so we can start eating right away, which is good. Yeah.
All right, I'm getting us loaded. We had, you know what? Never let them see you sweat. Except in my
I
case,
feel like that's the opposite for you.
always
I
see
feel like you
them.
let them see you sweat.
Always stammer.
Constantly.
Constant
I just like
stammer.
that. It's so funny. Like I'll come here and it's like sort of slow, and it's like okay, it's slow, and then like by the time we get going, whether it was 12 or 1 o'clock, there's always a nice crowd that starts to
Place
percolate.
is happening, man.
And
Yeah.
they and
It's
the
like
people.
an outdoor market in the summertime somewhere where
Yes,
it's
and people are so
popular.
happy. Like the people, like usually when you go to market, it's like, oh my god, I have to go to the freaking market. The people come here are so giddy to come into Delaware. I just love it.
Yeah, well, it is a wonderland for food lovers, and it's a wonderland in front of us now. Okay, we are on the live stream simulcast on Let's Eat South Florida. Again, the group almost 125,000 now. It grew by 1,800 in the last week. Always a fun time on the Let's Eat group. We're here at Delaware Chicken and Seafood Market in Hollywood on State Road 7. We've got Brenda, the great marketing director here, who is taking photos and loading on the Delaware site. But most of all, Defo, what do we got?
I'm grabbing a couple of spoons here because we want to dig into this before it gets cold.
Okay.
here.
Oh, well, yeah, you can go for
It's,
the chowder. We got
No, I'm going to let you try it
in
first.
front of us.
No.
And Gene, the wonderful one of the
This is
managers
stone
here.
crab
We've
chowder.
got stone crab. It looks almost like a bisque, but it is called stone crab chowder.
Very nice.
I don't know. Let's
Let
see. I'm
Defo
gonna
get
kind of
this
stir it
tray.
up,
Oh, and you got the cream
and I'm gonna
spinach.
take
You
my
get this
fresh,
tray.
clean
All right.
spoon, and you can see that it's got filled with chunks of corn and potatoes, and it looks like, you know, kind of one of those cream base with a little bit of a white roux flour at base, and you've got like this whole stone crab claw. I assume that there's chunks of stone crab meat in here.
It looks like
And
you
I'm
got
going to
one,
go
yeah.
in for the first bite. First time ever. This is a product, again, I've been coming here over 30 years, but I've never had the stone crab chowder.
You can try it. You can try it.
Mm.
There you
See.
go.
All right.
Oh, it's thick and delicious, and it's got,
Oh, it's got a lot of corn in there.
you know, when you
That's
take a bite of this, you feel like fall has arrived in South Florida.
Yeah, it felt like it outside. Now it feels like it inside.
And it's got, you know, it's a little bit cooler and drier outside, crisp in the mornings, and if it gets cool in the evenings, that would be a
That's
perfect way to
good.
start
Really good.
any meal. And again, you can find the stone crab chowder here at Delaware Chicken and Seafood. And we also have, is that the spinach dip or cream spinach? I guess it's just the straight up cream
You always
spinach.
think
Spinach,
it's
very
spinach.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, you think I think it's. I don't know. The last
It
time I
could
felt
be
like a
used as
dip,
a dip too.
but I think it's
very
cream
good.
spinach.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think you're right. I think it is a cream spinach.
Very
That
good.
would be the classic accompaniment
I love cream spinach.
to the stone crab meal. And, you know, some of the more famous restaurants that, Joe's, everybody knows Joe's, but that's in South Beach. And, you know, the classic dinner is the stone crab, cream spinach, and the hash brown potatoes.
Hash brown thing's great. Yeah.
So here you can assemble a kind of DIY, do-it-yourself Joe's meal. Billy's Stone Crab is also
I just like
another
that they have,
place.
and they have all 4 sizes too: medium, large, jumbo, and colossal. Which is
All
cool.
right. The man is here. Let's get Gene on, and we will start our stone crab demonstration, because we've done this before. Because when we started off our wonderful partnership with the Delaware Chicken and Seafood folks earlier this year, it was still stone crab season, and one of the things that I demanded in the contract, Defo, was that we had to have stone crabs when we first signed up. But that was last season, so we got our bounty for the 2022-23 season. Now we're on to 23-24.
That's right.
Gene, welcome back to the show. Thank you so much for preparing this wonderful feast.
Great
Thank
job.
you for
Tell us
having
what
me.
we got here. I took a sip of the that chowder. It's great.
Yeah, we have some stone crab chowder. It's a very popular one. As a matter of fact,
Fantastic.
last Tuesday we have something called Tasty Tuesday, where we bring customers in every Tuesday to
Mhm.
taste some new recipe or something that we make.
Mm-hmm.
That was a real success.
So
Everybody
this
who
is a
tried
new
it.
item? It's
Not new.
okay, but you
it's
just
not
gave
new.
them a taste to just
We just give
remind
them a
them.
taste,
Yep.
to remind them of the stone crab season. And everybody would try that day. They ended up buying
Fantastic.
it. Yes,
Yeah.
they ended up
I
buying
might
it.
buy some myself.
We have
now.
it in a seafood case. It's always ready every day. We have some. So
That's a-
and over there we have some cream spinach,
Cream
which is a
spinach.
very good side dish for the stone crab.
Excellent.
It's the
Well
best.
done. Yes.
And you could eat it cold, or you could eat it warm, like you're having it right
Mhm.
now. It's you having it warm.
Very satisfying.
Very fantastic.
Creamy.
And
Delicious.
we have the main entree, which is some large stone crab.
One fell overboard
So,
here. I got to take a
yes.
picture of this beauty. And
Yes.
what size do we have here, Gene?
Uh,
This is
The one
large.
we have on the table right now is the large one.
Right.
And we have all sizes available right now. We have the medium, we have large, we have jumbos, and we have the colossal.
Right.
One
4
important
sizes.
thing for people to know, they when they buy in the stone crab, when you get the medium, you have a close to 6 to 7 in a pound. When you have the large, you got
About 4 to 5.
4
Yeah.
to 5 in a
Yeah.
pound, and then a jumbo is always 3,
Right.
and then a colossal you only get 2.
And the thing is, the bigger the crab, the less work, the less shells.
The less shells. That's what I always
you-
tell people.
But
And I always tell them to stick with the large because you're right in the center. You don't lose too much. I mean, it's the right right amount of meat, and then you don't get too much shells to deal with.
now last year, well, I guess earlier this year, when we had our stone crab episode, you showed us the correct way to crack a stone crab. These are already pre-cracked, and when you come and buy them here, you
Mhm.
get the choice, right? The customers can do either the crack.
When they come in, when they call to order, they let us know ahead of time they want them cracked. Or we don't usually crack them until they're here
Mhm.
because we don't know what's going to happen. If someone's going to have an emergency, you're not going to be able
They
to
don't show up.
to
Yeah.
show up. So we have like a $200-300 stone crab that
Right.
we have
You
to
don't
deal
wanna-
with it. So we want to make sure they say, "Oh, I'm on my way," or "I'm in a store," and then usually takes about a couple
As
minutes
soon as
to
the credit
crack 'em.
card
Yeah.
clears,
No,
you
yeah,
start
it's
cracking,
it's
yeah.
like pulling a pin out of the hand grenade.
Yes.
Like once you crack the stone crab, it only has a limited shelf
Limited
life,
shelf
and then it
life.
goes boom, and it's no good anymore.
Yes.
Although it's like it's still when you
It's still
crack them,
good
it's
for
like
24 hours.
24 full hours.
Yeah,
of crack?
within 24 hours, if you use it, it's fine. But if you let it sit in the fridge for more than 24 hours, then it come out dry.
It gets drier.
Once
Yeah.
it's cracked.
Once
and
it's
then
cracked.
tastes less too.
Now, uncracked
So-
crabs can sit in your fridge for up
For
to
like
like
three- 3 or 4 days.
3 or 4 days.
3 or
Okay,
4
that's
days.
been my rule of thumb. My rule of thumb on the cracking is unless I'm eating it, I get it cracked if I'm eating it within 4 hours.
Yes.
So let's say it's a football Sunday, which many people maybe, I'm not trying to plant any suggestions, but a great way to get ready for the Dolphins Sunday night game against the Eagles, big game. These guys are open until 4 o'clock. So maybe you come in here in that 3 to 4 hour, you get them cracked, and then you have your dinner at 7 o'clock. So it's
That's
in that
correct.
window when you still get the height of the freshness and juiciness of the crab without having to bother with cracking it yourself. What would you do, Defo? Would you get it cracked or uncracked?
Just keep going, Mayo. I mean, what kind of stupid question is that? What would I do?
I'm trying to get you involved. I don't know.
I mean,
Defo
find
doesn't wanna-
a better way in. I mean,
If we just want to eat, he doesn't want to
just-
crack.
Yeah, you know what?
Stone crab things. I like cracking them. I mean, but it's a lot better if you have an expert do it, like Gina. I mean, when we were here last time, it went down very smoothly. Unfortunately, there were probably 20 stone crabs, and you ate 18 of them. But
Now, I demand
I
a
can't wait for you
recount.
to try them. I mean,
Go ahead before I
you,
take them
I
all.
mean, you need to.
Well,
you need to
well, I want
get
Gene
involved
to
here first. I
also
mean, you're the man here.
just
You're Mike
explain
Mayo.
if you are cracking them at home. And
I could live on this.
these are cracked already. I don't
These
know if
are
you left
just
one
cracked,
uncracked, but
yeah.
basically,
I didn't do a good job cracking it because I know you might need to hit him a little bit. But if you just take him and then try to break him,
they
they
separate
will
right
come
out.
apart. But I have a couple that I left
There we go.
uncracked
for the demo.
purposely.
This is what
So
we
you
need.
grab it.
Yep.
If you watch it and then you want to know the proper way you hold it, and everywhere you're gonna hit it with the hammer, you make sure it's on a flat surface. Like I have, like a stone
Got the little
ready
flat.
to go,
Mhm.
and a mallet. So you hit it like right here, not
you go.
hard
Yeah, until it cracks.
until you crack it. Same thing. I turn it again. I hit it again until it crack. You could tell it still stays whole. Still stay whole. I didn't smash it.
Right.
So, and then I'm gonna hit it again here. Make sure it's
Right
on
in
the flat.
the center of the claw. Right.
That's it.
And basically now you have your
Beautiful
cracked
job,
claw. And basically there's three parts to a stone crab. There's the knuckle,
The knuckle.
there's the joint,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's the claw. And basically you're only tapping it in three spots.
Three spot. Lightly until
One,
you
two,
crack it.
three.
Yes.
And like you said, if you hammer it, like maybe, in anger, you're going to shatter it and then the shell bits go into the meat. And nobody wants that.
And
so
you're gonna have
the-
splashes all over the place.
That was very delicately done, though. I mean,
Yeah.
perfect
yeah,
job.
it's like a fine sculptor, and you just chisel until you just see that little, it starts to crack, and you can maybe hit it one more time. But
Yeah.
again, so it's kind of like a gentle fissures,
correct.
like the San Andreas Fault
Mm-hmm.
separating from the California coast. I'm trying to get
Just-
Defo because he's.
just start eating, man. I mean,
I want you to get in there because
I'm good. You know what? I could finish this chowder off and be very happy.
then you
man.
know what, the
It's
chowder is
fantastic.
yours, and I'll have all the stone crab. No,
That's
it's
right.
it's all good.
Nah,
Here we
it's
go.
stone crab chowder. So he's having stone crab without
So-
having to, worry about eating shells or anything, breaking them.
Now
That's
here I
fantastic,
go.
yeah.
So again, we've got the three bits, and sometimes I save all my knuckles and the
For the
joint
last
for
one.
later
Mhm.
because sometimes you want to get right into that claw. But there's so much good meat in the knuckle, and sometimes you have the little things that you can what do you call these
Oh,
instruments?
A
The
fork. Mhm.
yeah, the fork.
Yeah. It's seafood.
I'm not
Some of
used to
that,
utensils.
The sauce there.
Yeah, he's got the mustard sauce is
Oh,
a
beautiful,
classic
yeah.
thing. The lemon, I just like it this time of year. Just have kind of it's so fresh and sweet right out of the ocean and the sea, the
I do
Florida
too.
Bay
Wow.
and the Gulf of Mexico. But I've got my little knuckle joint meat here. Oh my God!
I'm gonna go underrated.
That's
stone
so
crab
sweet.
based on this feeding here.
Now that's so sweet, and
Florida
You're-
stone crab, they are known to be the sweetest one.
there's some
And,
people. Yeah, that disparage the stone crab, and
Uh-huh.
I know it's gotten more expensive than maybe 20 or 30 years ago, but I find it still like the king of all crustaceans because I love the flavor. These are cooked. What happens is we'll explain the process of the crabbing and what happens between then and the store.
The process, the seafood guy went and then lay down the trap. They let them there for as many, how much time they want to leave in there, sometime 24 hours. And then they come back and get them. Then they break the claw out of the stone crab.
Right.
Some people, they have like their own place where they cook them.
Right.
Before they bring them in. And
Before
then-
we get to that, sometimes you can remove just one claw and
One
throw
claw.
the crab
That's
back
exactly right.
into
That
the
is exactly right. It's
ocean
one
or to the
claw.
sea.
Yeah, you remove one claw and then you give them a chance to go again.
Some of them regenerate
They
and
would-
survive.
yes.
And
That's
and
why you have a season
sustainable.
of 6 months.
Right.
They give you a chance, to get them from October to May the 2nd. So the crab got a chance to, like you said,
regenerate.
regenerate.
Yeah.
Yes. And
And that's
they take it and then to the kitchen. They take it to this to whatever place they have, and then they cook them. Some people steam them, and then they bring them in. When they bring them in, some of the fishermen they store them out by size. They bring them out already
Mhm.
pre-sized. Some of them just bring it to us, and then we cook them here for them. We steam them here for them.
Oh,
and
some of
then
them are okay.
Some
they're
of the,
still
some of the fishermen
raw.
they just bring it in.
I
and
did
we
not know
steam 'em.
that. Okay,
Yeah, we
I thought
steam 'em here.
most of the crabbers just they have when they haul in all their catch, they have a big,
Yeah, we have some local fishermen. Like the first day of stone crab, the guy we deal with, he didn't have time to cook them. He
he
brought
just
them in.
brought them in,
He
and
just brought them in, and
I
then
bet
we,
Jose figured out a way to cook
yes.
them. Yeah,
we
okay.
had a big steamer back there, and then Jose cooked them, and then we had stone crab.
They just boiled in the shell. Is that how it works?
Yeah, in
because
the
that's
shell.
something I've never done or
In the shell.
seen done. But again, so even though we enjoy this as usually a cold delicacy, a cold treat, they are fully cooked. So
They
it's
fully
not.
cooked.
Yeah,
You
and
don't have to do anything. Some people ask the question, "What do I do?" I like them warm. I like them hot. When they hot, they tend to stick in the shell.
right.
So that's why you have to have them cold.
Well, if you peel out the meat from the shell like this, cold, then you could kind of take the meat apart and put it in a stone crab chowder. Or I've
you just eat
seen
it.
more chefs use.
Just serve it just like that.
I've seen them now. Some people kind of like poach it in butter to warm them up and serve the meat, warm,
Yes,
but without the shell.
correct.
Stone crab is one of those things that's so good you don't need to kind of put it in any kind of fritter or casserole. It's kind of ruining the whole point. It's like if you get top shelf liquor or like a fine Scotch whiskey, like you don't want to cut it with ginger ale or anything like that. You
Nah.
just want to eat it pure or
Pure,
sip
correct.
it pure. And that's the same thing with the stone crab. It's
If you spend that kind of money to buy the stone crab, you just wanna serve it just like that.
Mm.
You don't want to do anything else with it.
Now, the prices do fluctuate during the season. Do you want to tell people about that? Like now it's a little bit higher because it's the start of season, right?
Actually, when the season began, the price kind of went down the first day.
Okay.
It was like a little bit less,
They
and then
always
we
like
thought
that.
it was, sign of thing to come. And the next day,
That's so good.
the next day it went back to our normal. Like right now, we have the medium. They are selling at $34.99.
Yep.
And
The
the
large are
$46.99.
$46.99.
$46.99.
That's what I paid the other day. I came
Mhm.
in on Monday because I couldn't help myself before the
Yes.
show. I said it's the beginning of season. My annual tradition to celebrate being alive and making it through another hot, mean summer is I the first day they're available. I come out, I buy myself a pound, and I just luxuriate in it. I don't share it with the soul because
You
I'm a
didn't even
selfish
let
guy.
Defo know. You didn't tell Defo about that, huh?
Oh, they
No,
were
it's all
watching
good.
on the
Yeah.
show on Monday. We did the show from home, and
The
was
market,
selling
though, it seems like are the prices a little bit lower than they were like a year ago? It seems like,
I mean, yeah.
and what's
was like-
the status right now? I mean, you always hear horror stories about shortages and this and that.
No,
but
there's-
plentiful supply. Yeah.
there's plentiful.
Yeah.
Usually when we start the season, we always like have maybe a few sides. We don't have all of them. The second day we had everything. So
Oh, nice.
it's a function of the weather and the crabbing conditions. I mean, the traps. Thank goodness, been no storms because every time the sea gets railed up, it helps in terms of like the crabs come out looking for food, but sometimes it hurts in terms of the traps also get tossed around and lost. This year, no storms. All the traps are staying in the same places. And so they're filling up, and it's good to see.
yeah.
How's we got the supply part looks pretty good. How's the demand doing? Especially sometimes when people wonder about the economy, is it getting softer? Can you tell by the amount of stone crabs being sold where we're at?
We've been doing okay. Not as much as we would like to, but I mean, we've been doing okay, and mostly it started picking up during the weekend. Like this is the first week.
Yeah.
First week, everybody's feeling it. They're trying to be the first one to try it, and all of a sudden they started planning parties, and then So yes, we've been doing okay, and then hopefully this weekend we're gonna have.
I have a feeling it's
yeah.
going to be a big weekend for stone
Especially
crab.
when you have a game.
A Dolphins
A
big
Dolphin
game
game?
on a
Yes.
Sunday night.
Yes.
I say people should celebrate their early season success. I'm in here. And you don't have to get a full meal with stone crab. This could be your appetizer course because I know some people are, price
That is
sensitive
correct.
and hurting in the pocketbook, but you could like buy yourself a smaller amount of stone crab, start with one or two, and then come in here and get one of those beautiful pieces of fish or even some of the chicken. You could grill it yourself or buy the broasted chicken. And that's the way you assemble a meal that's maybe a little bit more value friendly these days instead of having to, maybe spend so much X on stone crabs. You could have, X minus and then get a whole bigger assortment and make some nice sides, pick up the cream spinach. I love it all. I love the variety and the options. It's
You
just
can't go wrong. Very, very good menu ideas.
it's all
provided
good.
too.
And
Yes.
some of the other things. Well, I guess you mentioned that this time of year, the demand is high because people haven't had them all summer. But then it takes maybe a little dip. But then when we get back to around the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's,
Yeah,
then
some people usually on Thanksgiving stone crab we didn't sell any, but right now some people just have stone crab for Thanksgiving.
that means
Yeah.
there's a lot to be thankful for.
I just spoke to a friend not too long ago. He's a very good customer. He buys a lot of stone crab. He's planning on having parties around November instead of December.
Mm.
So he's gonna, what he does, he buy the stone crab, and then I don't know if he cater to his
His
clientele
Yep.
or his people. He buys like a lot of it. So he just called me to check on the pricing.
It's like
and
Defo.
then-
After he hits a big score at the track, he comes in. He just says, "Give me a half a truckload."
I used to buy him by the bag all the time. That was unbelievable.
Yeah. This is great stuff. And you will talk about a daily double, Defo. How about Thanksgiving? Come in here, you get a bunch of the stone crab for an appetizer, and of course, order your fresh turkey for
correct.
the holidays. And it's coming up. I guess you're starting to take orders already. Or
Yeah,
the next
We've
couple
been
of
taking orders. Yeah, right after the Jewish holidays, always Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Yes,
is
people's placing their order. They starting calling, and then
it's around the
leaving
corner.
name.
Yeah.
Because Thanksgiving, before you know it,
I think
it'll be
we're
right
only
here.
5 weeks out, if my math is correct. And
Yes.
again, Delaware, you should see the Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, the lines are around the block. Hollywood police is here. They're coordinating traffic. You pick up your little ticket number. You get your index card. I come in on the Tuesday morning at 7 o'clock. That's my life hack for people. But if you want to order some of those fresh killed turkeys that come in straight off the farm, it really makes a huge difference from some of those frozen products that you might be used to, that you bought for years. I'm telling you, when it comes to Thanksgiving, spend a little extra money, get the fresh killed bird, get a couple of stone crabs, and the number to call here at Delaware Chicken Farm is 954-983-6831.
Correct.
954.
954-983-6831. And then even though you see the big crowd outside, don't worry, we know how to handle them
quickly
in
in here,
no
for sure.
time.
Yes.
You'll be in and out.
Yeah, very efficient.
Yes.
This one gentleman has already served 3 customers in the span that.
That I did my last soliloquy, huh?
Yes. Last,
Hey, and this
dissertation.
is the part Defo loves about warning people who might not be familiar with eating stone crabs, that in the middle of this beautiful, juicy, big, luscious claw is this cartilage, this little kind of cross thing that you don't want to bite into it because you'll shred it. Look at the way I did this expertly, Defo. I bit down, peeled it away, and now I use it as my handle as
what do you
I
want, a standing
eat.
ovation? Just eat the thing.
I do want a standing
Oh, my
ovation.
God.
Uh-oh.
Insufferable. There you go.
Hot
You
chocolate.
couldn't
You
follow
got it
your
from
own
the back.
advice. Yeah. After all that, he breaks a tooth.
No, I broke it with my finger. There it is. All right. That's delicious. How about we take our first break, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more seafood, stone crab, and more from Delaware Chicken and Seafood Market with our man, Gene.
Gene does a dynamite job preparing this stuff, too.
Thank
Are you
you.
alone in that when the people call in the orders? Are you the only guy doing the
Oh no, we
cooking
have
preparation?
like the entire store get involved when they
okay.
when it
Whatever
comes to
department,
orders.
yeah.
Yes, and we have a full kitchen back there, so there's no order too big to handle.
They got the confiters working, the
Yeah.
stuffed crab. I mean, unbelievable.
And we should mention at this point, Delaware Chicken is open 7 days a week. Going to DelawareChicken.com is the website that has all the hours and information. They also have the daily offerings, the weekly specials. I also think you have the pricing of the stone crabs on there every day.
Yeah, we posted something we call price list on the website, so you
So-
could go ahead and then look it up.
You
So
can,
you will see the latest updated price.
and that's great. And my advice to you out there is buy on the dip. Anytime you've seen those stone crab prices come down, run on out
And they
here.
don't seem unreasonable this year. It does
Oh.
seem like they're a little bit lower.
yeah, the price are normal.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
And again, we'll come back after these words and talk with Gene about maybe the best crab to buy if you want the most meat for the money. This is something I actually did, and I wrote about it and shared the results with Doug Carter, the proprietor here, and he was surprised, but it confirmed what he's long told customers. We'll talk about that and more after these words on the Lunchbox. Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all: Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Do you like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Max's 9089 West Atlantic Avenue in Delray Beach. For more than a decade, a top spot for lunch, weekend brunch, and dinner at the Delray Marketplace in West Delray. It's a family-friendly dining room in a comfortable setting with also an outdoor patio that's pet-friendly. American classics like chicken and waffles, brick oven pizzas, chopped salads, and of course, great burgers, including the famous Farmhouse Burger and the traditional Prime Burger. Open 7 days with happy hour at the bar and high tops from opening until 6:30. For reservations and more information, go to bertandmaxes.com. People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. We're back, everybody, and I am enjoying a mighty fine, tasty lunch. What do you think of them so far, Defo?
How can you go wrong? I mean, you're right about Delaware, the freshest. One of the things that I think has it fallen by the wayside, though, when it comes to stone crabs in restaurants is the all-you-can-eat concept.
Yeah, do they even do that? Is there
that
anybody that
done?
even tries to do
It's
that?
still a thing.
Yeah.
It depends on the supplies, as Gene was mentioning at the beginning of the season. Sometimes things are a little tight. Yeah, we're doing a podcast. Yeah, well, you can come on and say hi. Sure, that's it. What's your name?
What are we doing? We're doing this?
Oh, okay. We'll dance. Well, we love to dance, and
All
have a
right.
good one. All right.
Thank you.
All right. What we were talking about, all you can eat.
Yes.
At
Is
places
that
like
still a
Catfish
thing?
Dewey's.
Okay.
The
Do
first
they wait till
couple
later in the season? Is
first
that what it
couple of
is?
days, they did not have enough supply, so they did not offer it. However, they've been also offering daily updates of how many crabs they get, and if all you can eat is available. I did see that their mediums, they were offering all you could eat on mediums for the reasonable price of $110 per person. But that's what you got to expect. It's like
But that's the thing. If you eat like
You could eat 2 pounds. I mean,
8 to 10, you've made your money's worth.
the restaurants factor
And
in
8 to
like
10
the
is not
type
that
of
hard to eat.
person who's ordering an all you can eat is the type of person that is trying to to take down the house.
Yes.
They want to beat the house.
Yeah.
So they have to they do a 2.2. And I'm making this up completely, but they basically factor in of if a person eats 2.2 pounds of stone crab, because past
They'll
that
break
point,
even.
really,
That's the thing. They are really rich. Like
they're
there's only
very
so much
rich.
you can eat of
Your
them.
gout's going to flare up at some point. They'll be hobbling out of there on their toes, Defo. But yeah, so if there, I think places like a restaurant that if you get medium claws, like a pound of them for $45. Times 2.2 is a little over 100.
Yeah.
So that's the
It's
math.
about right. No, it's fine. I mean, that doesn't sound that expensive.
For
It
people
sounds
who are
about right.
into, me, like, okay, I like to cram a big sandwich in my mouth, but I'm not one of those gluttons that can just sit here and eat a tray of stone crab all day. Like, I think
I'm kind of full even off one and a couple
Well,
of
the
pints of
soup's
these
rich.
sides. Yeah.
That's the thing. A lot of the time, you'll get it with a cream spinach, which is also rich. So it's just how much rich food can you eat.
if I'm gonna, like the other day, I got 4 was in a pound of large here. It was just about $50, a little bit over a pound. I had 2 for lunch. I was completely satisfied and full till dinner.
Tom
And then,
T says he does 5 to 8 pounds when he's doing like
well,
He's breaking
Tom
the
T
bank
is a
there,
big
yeah.
boy. And speaking of Tom T, he's having one of his Feed Me suppers on Saturday
Oh,
up
nice.
at Nobo Brewing in Boynton. I was at the last one, and he's invited me out to this next one. I'm going to be going. It's so good because he besides, for people who just want to do a la carte, his usual menu of great
the great
Cajun
Maine
things,
stuff. Yeah.
jambalaya and the gumbos are there. But for the special touch, he has like a 4-course feed me dinner with a dessert on top of that. So it's 5 courses.
Nice.
And he usually does a little amuse-bouche. Sometimes it's an oyster. Then he has a bread course and then he has an appetizer and a main course and a dessert. And he did that veal rib chop last time. It was fantastic.
Nice.
And then this time he's got sweetbreads on the menu. He did this thing called an escarole cake, which I'd never had before, but it was like an Italian tradition in his family. So escarole is like spinach, but he chops it up. He puts it like instead of like a crab cake, which is filled with crab, he does an escarole cake, very light and simple, in a nice batter, and it's crunchy, and he serves it with a remoulade. I loved it. So I'm going to be checking it out again, and he's got some space available if you're interested. Saturday night, Nobo Brewing in Boynton Beach, Tom's Louisiana Kitchen. Go to his Facebook page or DM him on Facebook and make your reservations now. I believe it's $65 per person plus tax and tip, but always a good time if you're looking for good food and something different, change of pace there, Defo.
There you go.
But meanwhile, we're here. Well, you've stopped at 2?
I think he's at
I've
1.
only had 1.
He's at 1.
Yeah.
You're the
I've
one number 2.
Why? I don't understand this.
He's not a glutton.
I'll probably try and have another one. I may want to bring one home for the Mustang. She likes stone crabs.
Okay, but I mean they're delicious, and I don't know what Bryce Harper is batting right now in the National League Championship
He's
Series.
killing it. Yeah.
But
he's doing well.
I we might want to reassess and use different examples.
100%. Stone crab is amazing. It's just when you look at the idea of the price, it's more than not the price itself, it's the idea of the price, because again, you don't have to pound 6 stone crabs. So the point is, I like what you guys talk about of like as an appetizer.
Yeah.
Right, make some steaks, grill some chicken, make some burgers, dogs, and then throw out some stone crabs just so everyone can have a taste. When you think of it that way, it's not bad.
So what I did the other day, I had 2 for lunch, and just that's it because I was on the show. And then when I was done with the show, I was like, you know what? I'm satisfied. I'm not hungry.
There you go.
For dinner, I had the other 2. I made a little salad.
Yeah.
And I did a little light, like a little angel hair vermicelli pasta with olive oil and garlic on the side, just like a little pasta side dish with this. Beautiful. That's it. That's all I needed. I mean, so again, you can stretch the dollar with the stone crab here if the price is a consideration. And let's face it, it is for a lot of people.
100%. I mean, it's for me.
And
a lot of people, price of everything.
They just say, oh, stone crabs have gotten too expensive. You got to kind of readjust, and it becomes more of a special occasion treat, a holiday treat. And but for me, every day's a holiday, especially when they're bringing them out. And on the Lunchbox, we love coming out and checking out the great times and great things. And I'm going to stop talking now. What else do we got on the agenda?
I don't know. I was curious to see what's going on with Let's Eat. You haven't had a Let's Eat gripe today, so
I have one. I just was trying to be courteous.
I know Gene's not here, so that's what I was saying.
Well, yeah, Gene.
That's my favorite part of the show is what are they bitching about today?
Trying to get owner Doug Carter on. It's always a treat to have him. The man is he's in his 80s.
Yeah, he's a great dude. He's a great man. I mean, the fact that he's still active in his 80s is
such
amazing.
a great
one of many impressive individuals we deal with on the show.
Yep.
So it's such a good reputation around town. And one of the things I forgot to mention is it's October, which is Pink October Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Well, I believe that Doug lost his longtime wife Elsie to breast cancer a while back, and the way that they're basically paying homage to Elsie is they are having a fundraiser this month.
Oh, cool.
Any breast related product that you buy here, chicken breast, turkey breasts, there's ground turkey because that uses the breast, the ground chicken, all those products, they'll be donating a portion of the proceeds to the breast cancer research, cancer foundation.
That's really cool.
They have the full information online on their DelawareChicken.com website. And they also have a nice little flyer on the door explaining it. So I might buy myself a couple of chicken breasts today, along with maybe some ground turkey. And again, I'm trying to get a little bit more health conscious, and nothing like a little turkey burger.
Yep.
And along with my stone crabs.
We did that yesterday. But so what's the latest?
The latest gripe. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the word.
I'm not on it like you guys. I barely see what the hell's going on there.
Okay, Ford's Garage opened at that new Plantation Walk complex
It's
earlier
like with all the cars
this
and whatever.
week.
Yeah.
It's like a chain concept. They're around the country. I don't know if you're into this, but like I'm not a car guy, so like it does not matter to me if you have like this great revved up Ford Mustang or pickup truck next to the my hamburger or whatever.
Yeah.
But this place opened all of 4 days ago, and a woman went on there and kind of wrote this post talking about how it wasn't the greatest, but basically I said it was the holy grail of Let's Eat posts, because Defo, these are the elements that it had in it. It had a review of a place that had been open all of 3 days.
Yeah.
It had a basically a chain restaurant, and you know how people go crazy over chains. It had a dog. She brought the dog into the restaurant.
She brought the dog, but she's the one bitching.
It didn't specify whether the dog was indoors or outdoors. It just said they let her in with the dog.
Mad at. Okay.
It had a mention of the dreaded Plantation Walk developer facility surcharge, also known as the entertainment fee.
Oh, God.
It had a murky 20% service charge that may not be going to the service staff and may be kept by the house. They charge 20%, but they say you don't have to tip on top of that. And it also had general griping in the thread about tips and fees. And I said, now I can die in peace. It had all those elements. Last I checked, it was
any good?
It had over 300 comments in like 3 hours. Because everybody focused on what they wanted to. Some people going crazy about the dog. Some people were going crazy about the developer
the
facility
charges are
fee.
Weird. Yeah, I don't get that.
All right, in Plantation Walk, which is what they built.
That's where was it? The
Frank Pepe's Pizza. Taco Craft has a place out there. There's a couple other ones. The developer has imposed on the restaurants that they have to charge a 1% fee. I don't know why they can't just build it into the monthly rent. But for some reason, it gets printed out and charged for every check. 1% check. Now, I know Gulfstream did that originally when they opened their Gulfstream Village, but that fell by the wayside.
Yeah, it looks really bad.
But it's just a weird thing. It's a 1% surcharge. So for every $100 you spend, it's an extra buck.
Yeah, it's not a lot of money, but it just is annoying.
When you break it out on a check and people see one more fee,
people hate it.
How do people feel about flying on Spirit Airlines?
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's part of the course. If you're going there, you're going to get hacked for this dollar or whatever it is.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
People don't know they're
going
you don't know. Because so many people go there for the first time and they see this.
I could see that being a gripe. I don't care if it's $1 or 50 cents. You don't want to get ripped off.
I don't understand why.
Like, where is this going? Why am I paying it? I mean,
why not make it the price of the food?
Why is it passed along to the customer? Why can't the the developer just charge the
restaurant.
the
Yes,
restaurant
yes.
X amount of dollars for the fee, and then they'll just pass along the
cover it in,
1%
yeah.
to cover it. I don't understand that, because in my mind, all it could do is confuse and enrage people. And
if they're trying to attract people there, I mean, they got a lot of restaurants. As I remember when we went to Pepe's,
It looked
there were a
interesting.
lot of places that were still, coming together and about to open up, and that might have been one of them.
It was, yeah.
I remember walking by there.
It looked cool.
But you know what? If everybody knows, hey, I'm going to get whacked for 1% extra by going to this area, there are a zillion other areas you could go to.
once
That's
you
the
know,
thing,
then you
like-
can make an informed decision.
You would think it would
Yeah.
be discouraging, though. I mean, defeating the purpose of putting
Well,
all these places together.
The thing that caused a bigger ruckus and was discouraging to me is that I guess they print the sign saying we have a team concept here where we charge a service charge of 20%, and you're not expected to tip on top of that, although you're welcome to. But once you're telling me it's a 20% service charge, but then it's like,
That's probably one
but
of
it's
the
what does
not
that
all
mean?
going to
Yeah,
the
what does that
service.
mean?
So what was explained in the thread, and this came from people who both
Some people don't like
wa-
chains, and there's nothing wrong with chains, but like sometimes these chains do weird stuff. Like I
So
think you're overthinking it when
what
you do that.
somebody who was working there, I don't know if she's still working there, said they called in this team meeting right before they opened and said, oh, the way our tipping structure works is we charge everybody 20%, but we get to keep part of that. But you guys, the servers, you get a commission of 8%. So of what you are.
So,
now, I don't understand if
You're
it's
pushing them to
everybody's
upsell. You're
bills.
pushing them to upsell is what they're trying to do.
Well, they're pushing. Well,
Because a lot of times
but the
servers don't
confusing
upsell.
part is if it's a team concept, then you're not assigned tables and you get 8% of everybody's tables during your shift. So does that work out to the same 20%?
Yeah.
Sounds a little weak.
Or
Yeah, it sounds weird.
I don't know what their base pay or benefits package is, if it's maybe more generous and that maybe they're not getting as much in the tip money, if the house is keeping. It seems very unclear to
It's
me.
just confusing.
And it seemed like there was an uproar from somebody who worked there. She said once she heard that, I don't know if she quit, but she was like, they're only getting 8%, but they're charging 20%. But it maybe they get more. I don't know.
No, but it
but
never works in the workers' favor. You know that. Like,
Once you're saying the house can keep part of the money
Yeah,
that
what is
usually
it, a
goes
casino?
to the servers, right?
Just charge more money
It
for the
sounds-
entree.
yeah,
and
like-
let the server keep his tip.
All I know is I'm not.
like I
dying
wouldn't have
to-
bitched. Obviously, we've talked about this, but like I can't totally annihilate this person who went and bitched. I'm not gonna lie. Like it has
Yeah,
a lot
no,
of the
no.
things that I and Tom T, being a restaurateur, hates when people bitch about tipping. I love you, Tom T. But you also bust your ass to keep prices to a certain level for your clientele. It feels like this place is not doing that. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes I will defend the customer. This sounds weird. Like, it
sounds
sounds like
weird.
all the issues a plate person would have in one place.
There was
and I
a
can't lie
lot
about
to
that. Like,
unpack in this one post. I think it's unfair to review a place's food
Yeah,
quality
obviously. Yeah,
or overall operations in the first. Forget the first 3 days. I think even the first month, you got to give the place a grace period, even though they're charging money. I know, but before you shred them on social media,
yeah, I'm not saying I would have done it.
I think
It's
you give them a
just-
second chance. However, I do think the whole issue about the 20% service charge and then how much is actually going to the staff,
Yeah,
I think that's a valid issue to talk about from day one.
Yes.
So the post, look, again, I said now I can die in peace because
Yeah,
that had
yeah.
it hit all the sweet spots for me. And I just was like, okay, I'm just gonna watch this thing. It's got a dog, it's got a chain. It's
Look,
got
the weather's been
tipping,
nice, so I
it's
can't
got
even lie.
a
I guess
surcharge.
if you bring your animal out and you're eating outside, like, and we've done plenty of shows about the animal at a restaurant. But if it's nice out and you're eating outside, I can see bringing your dog.
I have no
guess.
idea, no problem
Yeah.
with the dog outside. I got
Yeah.
the impression that this was a dog
Inside.
inside.
I'll see, and it's
So,
food.
but it was unclear purposely because she knew
Yeah, she
would
don't want to get hammered.
pounded. The dog. Somebody in the thread mentioned that the policy of Ford's Garage is to allow both the service animals, actual service animals that help out the blind, but they also supposedly allow emotional support animals, and that's the ones where it gets a little
Dude,
bit
bring
murky,
everything.
that
Bring in-
they'll allow the support animals inside, and then once you have that and you have Fifi at the bar licking
Exactly.
the olives from the martini glass,
Licking
that's
at
where
your
I draw the
soup.
line, Defo.
It's pandemonium.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. I don't know. Whatever.
Hey, so we'll try to get Doug or
I
Gene
think we've
back
lost
here, but
everyone,
meanwhile,
man.
it's time for another break, and we can
Yes.
talk about our friends down the block at Tropical Acres
Yes.
Steakhouse.
Yes.
Hang right
yes.
right here, and you're there.
I mean, you talk about these old school places that have loyal followings that do things right.
That aren't
Delaware
hiding in a ton of
Chicken
services and all that.
and Tropical
Charges.
Acres. There was a glowing review of Tropical Acres on Let's Eat this morning from a
Nice.
first timer. And it was great because it's exactly what Jack Studiali expects and knows, is that
What he's going
people
for.
see the clashes on Let's Eat. And that
And
there
go
are
out
teams
there.
now. There's Team Tropical Acres and there's Team Haters. This woman and her husband went yesterday. They said, we are on Team Tropical Acres. They had the Twin Lobster special. They had happy hour in the bar. They
That's
did it
smart.
right. They
Good
did it
for
the
them.
Mike Mayo
Good
way.
for them.
You slide
See, it
in there
actually
at
may have
6.
helped out. Like we've talked about, when you would put expectations too high in a place, it's almost impossible to meet it. People have slammed the place so much, you go in there thinking it's a dump. You're like, oh wow, this place is freaking great.
She did it the right way. She went in for the happy hour, which is Monday through Friday from 4:30 to 6:30. Get you half price drink.
Yep.
Then they slid over into the dining room. They said it was
Lobster
clean.
special's great.
It was redone. It was much better than they were expecting based on some of the comments from people who maybe haven't been there in 10 years. And they've
Exactly.
refurbished the floors and the window, the ceiling fans and all that. It's pleasant. It's more than pleasant. There's a fantastic place. It's been there since 1949. I was so pleased that these people left like what I say is exactly what any reasonable person would
Take from Tropical Acres.
have their opinion after going to Tropical Acres. They found the value incredible. They found the food excellent. They found the service, very, very friendly and helpful.
Look how happy this lady is. She
And
got her
they-
stone crabs.
Everybody's
The
happy
face is
here.
lit up. Same
Everybody's
thing at Tropical Acres.
at
It's hard to
Tropical
go
Acres.
and leave without being happy.
2500 Griffin Road. They're open every day but Sunday. And again, also for the holidays, Thanksgiving, you better call them up now for your Thanksgiving Day festivities. If you don't want to cook a turkey from Delaware, I understand.
Go there.
You could go into Tropical Acres. They're open from 1 to 8. 954-989-2500 to get your Thanksgiving reservations today. Tropical Acres. We love it there. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, great lunch here at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, as always.
Yes.
One of my, we say this about every place. It's like one of your favorite stops on a tour, but
It's
this
true.
place is absolutely divine. The service here is impeccable, and they really do a tremendous job. The displays are awesome. You can see why they've been successful. It's always great to see in an area known for its fly-by-night businesses, a place that's an establishment, which this is, and not only do they establish a great history and a great quality standard, but they've maintained it and exceeded anything over the years. They just keep evolving. So Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, you can see why it's number one with a lot of people. Back with more of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox in a moment.
It's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting? Have I got the place for you? Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasto platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi. Fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets, they've got eggs Benedict, they've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. We're back on the Lunchbox, and Gene is back too. Good to see you again. We've been enjoying the stone crabs, the chowder. That's going to become one of my staples now during the winter. I love a good, any kind of chowder, but this stone crab chowder, something different, unique, and the cream spinach, of course. And you can pick up all these things, Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Real quick, a couple more things about stone crabs, because there is a lot of interest this week on the Let's Eat South Florida Facebook group. It seems every other post has been about stone crabs. True or false? Does the stone crabs get sweeter in the middle of the season? Or does the flavor maybe change when the water gets colder in South Florida, and that maybe February and March stone crabs are sweeter than October stone crabs?
This I leave it up to the expert to answer, because you're the one eating stone crab.
Typical great question by Mayo, an unanswerable question.
Well, it's one of those things. I've found that maybe it's in my mind. I thought that.
Sorry, Gene. Sorry you came back.
I know.
That. We put up with it all the time. Attorney will ask you an unanswerable question.
Because you're the expert.
All right. I find them sweeter sometimes in February, but they're plenty sweet.
What about
now.
in the middle of the month of February as opposed to earlier in the month?
All right.
Like your Jacques Cousteau, all of a sudden, you're going to come up with an answer.
All right. Apologies for that one.
Yeah.
Question number 2. But we were talking about the different sizes.
I think the mustard sauce is
I find there's no real flavor difference between the different sizes.
No,
but sometimes
I can agree with you. There's no real difference in the flavor. I mean, in the size. When as far as flavor concerned, it's the same. Maybe, like I said earlier, if you get the colossal, you probably get a slight little difference.
Maybe a little bit tougher, or
the presentation, will make up for that. So, there's no real difference. Yes.
Yeah. And as far as do you have a personal preference? Like, what's your favorite size?
My favorite size is the large.
Yeah.
As you can see, that's the one I served today. That's the one I picked. You get the right amount of meat, and then you don't have to deal with a lot of shells. So that's perfect for your dinner, and you don't have to do too much work to get the meat out.
It's hefty enough, but you're not paying for too much shell. I did that experiment one time. Like I was telling you,
don't go through that again, please.
It was published in Crustacean Quarterly.
Hey, Crustacean Quarterly.
And it was
in the Jewish Journal also.
No, and it was
a little article.
Doug Carter. I mean, I actually came in when I was at the paper, and I paper's money. I had an expense account. I
Uh-huh.
bought a pound of medium, a pound of large, a pound of jumbo, a pound of colossal. I had a home digital scale. I cracked them all. I peeled away the shell, and I had the meat yield from each of them. The largest meat yield and the best value was
Surprisingly,
mediums.
was the medium, huh?
Medium. I thought it was going to be large for some reason, but the mediums. You explain it. What the shell is
The shells are lighter.
lighter,
They're lighter, so you don't.
little bit
You
thinner.
don't have to
Little
explain
bit
it.
thinner.
Gene.
No, look.
There's
it
no
was-
response to
I know,
these things.
and
I
then,
mean, what kind of guy does something like
Now
that?
this was
You gotta be out of your
a
mind.
madman who
Oh,
cares
my
about
God.
stone crab.
He's trying to get accuracy. You know what I'm saying?
7.4 ounces of meat for every 16-ounce pound that you
You got it,
purchase
you
in the
see?
medium.
He's
The
got the numbers
large
to
had
back it up.
6.8. The jumbo had 6.4, and the colossal only had 5.8. You're paying for almost 10 ounces of shell when you buy a colossal.
This is how you want
Now,
to
I don't
close the
wanna-
show. A great day that we had here. The stone crab's good in the batter, cream spinach, the
But
chowder.
people hate peeling all the little mediums because
don't
it's a
wanna
lot
go
more
through it.
work.
They don't want to
Yeah.
go do it.
This was his 4th grade science experiment.
My conclusion, Gene,
Okay.
and again,
Thank you very much.
everybody should
Yeah.
come in and get whatever size they want. But I said you'd be better off coming in here buying 5 pounds of the medium than like
And
a couple
sit in
of
the
pounds.
kitchen and then crack.
No,
humming
you
up.
hire a butler at $25 an hour, and you'll still come out ahead. All right, I'm an insane person. Come on out here and buy all the stone crabs that you want, any size you want. I do like the large. That's my personal preference too, because it's the right size. You don't
It
have to
is.
do too much work, and when you bite into that claw, it's just simply amazing. All right, Gene, thank you for putting up with my insanity. He does it every day.
I want to detach myself
that's
from
that's the favorite part. That's my
any-
favorite part of the show. so.
part of this. No, it's delicious, Gene. Unbelievable job. This is the place to go. Delaware Chicken Farm.
Thank you for this wonderful
Yeah.
spread. And we also got to give thanks yesterday to Burt Rappaport and his crew at Max's Grill up in Boca Raton. So much fun doing the first of many remote shows with the Rappaport Restaurant Group. We'll be next week at Deck 84 in Delray Beach, right there on the Intracoastal. It's a great spot. They've got a new chef in. They've been doing some menu tweaks, and that's what they always do twice a year. They revamp the menu at the Rappaport Restaurant Group, Deck 84 next Tuesday. And did you see Burt Rappaport posted the video that he shot of me doing my Mayo Monster Bite with the French dip?
Oh.
I forwarded it to you. It is truly disgusting. He tried to post it on Let's Eat South Florida, and
They
for the
declined.
safety and health and well-being of everybody involved in the group, I denied it. But I did put it on my I put it on my personal page, and I set the settings to public so you can see that grotesque display of me cramming an entire half of a French dip at Max's Grill on my personal Michael Mayo Facebook page.
Oh, wow.
Tomorrow at Gulfstream Park as usual. Thanks so much again. This is an overly generous display of just crustacean, stone crab generosity. Everybody should come out here to Delaware. Get this stone crab chowder for yourself. So by what? The pint quart?
Yeah, we sell them by the pint.
Okay. By the pint. Good stuff. I'll shut up now. Defo, any final words?
You said it all.
Enjoy every stone crab
While you can.
while you can.